Hi you guys, my name is Cyan Martin and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it has been a very long time since you've seen my face, and here's the thing. I know I have done this before where I just kind of disappear for a couple of months, but now I am ready to get back into the swing of things. Don't really have excuses, but I'm gonna give you some, okay? I have been dealing with schoolwork, I've been dealing with regular work, grief over the loss of a family member, and the past month alone we had Mother's Day. I graduated college, I celebrated Parker's birthday, I got married. I'm married! Went on my honeymoon. Celebrated me turning 25 years old. I don't want to talk about it. My life has been a little bit hectic. The thing is that I have actually been filming. If you are a YouTuber or influencer or you do anything on social media, the biggest thing with making videos like this is editing, and I just have not had any desire to edit the past couple of months, but now I am medicated and I think I can get this done and start finally getting ahead of the game. For the next couple of weeks I am just going to be on top of editing 5 other videos besides this one that I have filmed over the past couple of months, and I'm going to try to get them out to you guys back to back, so be prepared for those. They are older one dates all the way back to March. Either way, I just want to get them out for you guys, so that's what I'm going to be focusing on. And then after that, I have literally planned out the next few months of videos, and I'm going to be posting twice a week every Wednesday and Saturday. So after these next couple weeks, we're finally going to take this seriously and get on top of our game. For now, I have a book haul for you guys of books that I have been collecting over the past couple of months. Some of these were sent to me. A lot of these I have bought for myself because, let's be honest, once April hits, I'm pretty much like, I'm gonna get it for myself as an early birthday gift. So I just buy whatever I feel like buying. So we have a good collection of books. A lot of these I have actually already read, so you will either see them in the videos that are coming out or you've seen my ratings on Goodreads. Let's go ahead and actually get started with the haul. So the first one I see is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, and this is the illustrated anniversary edition. It is so pretty. It is a hardback, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but I don't have many special edition books and I kind of wanted to get on that train. Plus, everyone has been loving this like a couple months ago, and I feel like I'm going to love it once I eventually get to reading it. But it has like the prettiest artwork inside, the edges, the actual cover of the book. It's just really pretty, and I love when books have like all these extra little details. Like, come on, look at that. So yeah, I am excited to actually get to this one at some point because I have read 2 other books by her that I absolutely loved, and those are actually what I'll show you next. Those are Vicious, I think is the first one, right? It's Vicious and then Vengeful, I'm pretty sure. Oh my gosh. Devoured both of these. They are about people with superpowers. Some of them use them for good, some of them use them for bad, and it's just incredible. So yeah, definitely do recommend both of these. Bought those as well. Another more recent purchase that I got was When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. I also feel like I've seen this going around a little while ago, and let me tell you, when I bought this, I did not realize, excuse me, why are books so ridiculously big? Like, oh wow, this might be one of the biggest books I've read. 690 pages. So obviously she has a lot to say, and eventually I will get to this one. I just don't know when because I'm a little scared now that I see how big it is. And then I also got Lightlark by Alex Astor. I know that this got so big a while ago and it kind of had a lot of hype, but also on that side it had bad hype, I guess you could say, because it felt like this author was very pushed by her publishers, and I've heard of people saying it's not actually good. She just has a publisher who is really pushing for us to read it. But then I've also heard people who really enjoyed it. So I don't know. I just want to form my own opinions and see what I think. Was this just a big money grab, or is it actually good? I don't know. We'll have to see for ourselves. Okay, and then 2 other books that I bought by the same author is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, and then I also got The Great Alone. I don't think this is a series. I think these are both standalones. It's just the same author, and she writes historical fiction. So yeah, I want to end up reading these eventually. I've just really nonstop have seen this all over my For You page. I've seen it on people's YouTube channels. So I decided to get both of them just for the heck of it because I don't really know where I stand on historical fiction. I do really love history. That was one of my favorite subjects growing up, and I find it so interesting. So will I enjoy it in a fictional sense? We will just have to see. The next one that I bought was The Veiled Kingdom by Holly Renee, and I really just got this because the cover, I'm not even a huge like hot pink girly, but this is so cute. And so I just kind of jumped in and bought it without knowing absolutely anything about it. So, and then another fantasy that I've seen that I recently decided to buy is Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling. This is another fantasy about dragons. But before I ever even started reading, I was a huge fan of Game of Thrones. So like dragons are just my thing. And if a fantasy has it, I'm probably going to try to check it out and see if it's any good. So I did get this. This one is also a very big one. So, and then I have bought a Veronica Speedwell mystery. This is A Curious Beginning. It's the first book, and this is a really, really big series. They are historical, they are mysteries with a little bit of romance in them, and Katie is reading really, really loves these. So I decided to buy the first one, pick it up, and see how I like it. So I have that. The next book that I bought was Manhunt by Vanessa Vale. This one was completely just a cover buy. I feel like this cover is really, really cute and it gives small town vibes. And now that it is summertime, I have been into reading romances a lot more, and small town is just one of my favorite, and that is what this cover screams at me. So that is why I bought this one. Don't really even know much about it at all, so yeah, there's that. And then I bought Flock because this is the first book in the Ravenhood series by Kate Stewart. A lot of people rave about this, and I've heard that it's like a romance trilogy, but that it kind of is more deep and emotional, or at least that's how it feels from the way people rave about it and say that like this is a series they stand by and that it will forever have a place in their heart. So I want to be in on what the secret is behind this story. So that's why I got that. And then I randomly just decided to buy a dark romance book, which I do like dark romances, but I have to be in a specific mood for it. I'm not someone who consistently reads dark romance, but I have seen a lot about this one. I don't really know much about it. I have just seen good reviews and like quotes on TikTok, so I decided to pick it up, and it is The Ritual by Chantel Tessier. It seems like it's going to be very dark because just this cover, it kind of scares me. I'm not gonna lie. And it's also huge. I'm a little intimidated, I'm a little scared, but I still want to give it a shot. And then we have another impulse buy. I have heard nothing about this book. I literally just saw it and I was like, that seems intriguing enough, so why not give it a shot? I also haven't, like, I've actually literally never heard anything about it, and it is Murder Your Employer by Rupert Holmes, The McMaster's Guide to Homicide, volume number 1. Okay, so I'm assuming it's part of a series. I haven't even read the back of this. Oh, so it looks like it's a campus where classmates will be learning the art to homicide because they're going to be future deletists. So they're gonna delete people from this planet. Okay, well, look at that. You learn something new every single day. I learned what this book was about after I bought it. Maybe that wasn't the smartest decision, but I'm actually intrigued. So I think it'll be a fun time. And like I said, I have been more into romance this summer, so I did buy a couple Abby Jimenez books. The first one I bought is Just for the Summer. I have actually already read it, and I absolutely loved it. I actually did get it in as one of my book of the month books. I do pay for my own subscription, and I read it, devoured it. You will see it in a video. So I decided to buy the paperback version because I wanted to get more books from her, and I just didn't want to have one hardcover and then the rest be paperbacks. If you know, you know. And then I actually bought from her as well Yours Truly, which was popular when it first came out. Everyone absolutely raved and loved this book as well. And there's a third one that I bought from her. Okay, yeah. And then the third one I got is Part of Your World. I actually feel like these three may be interconnected somehow. Let me look that up. Oh, okay. So apparently Part of Your World and Yours Truly are in the same universe, so obviously I want to read them if they're interconnected. And I just really liked her writing when I did read Just for the Summer, so I am excited to read more from her. And then I bought 2 other books from an author that I have surprisingly never read any of her books, and she's a really big romance author, and that is Devaney Perry. So the 2 books that I got are the first in a series, and these are the only 2 that really I feel like kind of is my vibe. I read the synopsis of the first books of a bunch of her series, and these 2 really stood out to me. So I decided to give Indigo Ridge a try. This is the first book in, what is it called? What is this series called? The Eden series. Yes, I believe that's what it's called. This is the first book in that series, and I believe it's like small town and there's a little bit of like mystery going on. So I feel like that would be most of my vibe. And then I also got Still King, which is part of the Clifton Forge series. And I think this is like biker, like yeah, motorcycle club. And there might be also a little bit of a mystery in here as well. So I also feel like that is completely my thing. So that's why I decided to also give this series a try. So I am excited to get into those as well. I bought all these books, so of course I'm excited to get into all of them. Next up, we have Unsteady by Peyton Corin. It does still have sticker residue on it. I know that bothers me too. I'll get it off eventually. This one was definitely just another impulse buy. Like, I love sports romances. I'm assuming this one is hockey and ice skater maybe. I was literally just at Sam's Club and I went and looked in the book section and it's the only one that piqued my interest. And I was like, well, I want to get something while I'm here. So I got this. And then for May, as I said earlier, I do pay for book of the month. So I picked out 2 books this month. The first one is The Ministry of Time by Callianne Bradley. This one just seemed really interesting because I believe it has to do with time traveling. They bring someone from the past into the present and it is her responsibility to watch over him. And then I think she falls in love with him or something like that. So I thought that sounded interesting, and I haven't read a lot of sci-fi books, and I guess it's considered sci-fi, maybe, maybe not. I don't really know, okay? I just picked it out because it seemed interesting. And then I also got Husbands by Holly Gramazio. This one really piqued my interest because apparently she like wakes up one day and she has a husband and she's like, "Who are you?" She doesn't even realize who he is. But she has like pictures in her home of them together. They've apparently been married for years, and all of her friends and family know who he is. So you'd think like, oh, okay, did something happen where she just like lost her memory? No. Every time her husband goes up into the attic to like change a light bulb or something like that, it switches to a new man. But like every time, it's as if that man has always been her husband. Does that make sense? I haven't read it yet, so I really don't know if I'm explaining it correctly, but that's what I have gathered from what I have learned about this book. And I don't know, that just seemed pretty intriguing to me, so I decided to get this one as well. And then these two, I am so excited for. I actually did get these sent to me, so I want to thank Wednesday Books for sending it to me, and also the author, because I love these books. I've already read one of them, and I think if you've seen my video, you probably know how much I love it, and that is Anatomy by Dana Schwartz, and also Immortality, which is the second book. It is a duology. I have both of them in the hardbacks because that I originally bought them so long ago that they were only out in hardbacks. But when these got sent to me, you guys, I was literally fangirling because I read Anatomy, loved it, gave it 5 stars, one of my favorite books from last year. I haven't actually read Immortality, possibly because I don't want it to disappoint me and I'm scared that it is, but eventually I will get to it. Do I need 2 copies? Probably not, but they are some of my favorite books, so I have displayed them and they look so pretty on my bookshelves and I love them. So yes, excited and happy that I was able to receive those. I have also decided recently to start reading this series by Anna Huang. I haven't read this book yet, so I got the first in the series. It's the King of Sin series. I did read the Twisted series like when I was first getting into reading in general, and I liked it. Now looking back, my taste has changed, so I don't know how I feel about that series now, but at the time it was amazing. And I don't know, I have heard that this series is better, so I wanted to give it a shot as well. Then I have So Not Meant to Be by Megan Quinn. I read the first book in the series. It's a series about billionaire brothers, and I liked the first one. It's again one of those series where it just has good vibes. They're fun, outlandish, good romances that I think are good for the summertime too. And I liked the first one, so I am excited to continue the series because I've heard that it just only gets better. Next up, we have Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. It's another one of those things where I want to try out the series because I did read the Dreamland Billionaire series. This one is the Lakefront Billionaire series, and I love billionaires and romances for some reason, and I think this one is all like has something to do with interior design in a way. I'm not sure if all of them do, but I know this one I believe does. Again, the Dreamland Billionaire series had good vibes, so I am hoping that this one does as well. And then I did buy the all new covers for the Boys of Tommen series. I am only showing you this one because it's a lot of books to go through. With that being said, I did buy the most recent one that came out, which is Taming 7. Haven't read it yet, but I do have the 4 special editions of the first 4 books in the series, and since they're not doing the rest of the covers that way, I caved and I did buy the entire series that has these brand new covers. If you've seen any of my videos, you also know how much I love the Boys Atonement series, so I am excited. But if I'm being honest, I'm a little scared too, because everyone loves Claire and Gipsy, and I've just seen people say they're a little bit disappointed by them in this book. And then another series that I recently bought for the first books in, what is this called? Rebel Blue Ranch novels. This is Done and Dusted and Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage. One of these will be in a video, I think it's this one, but these are small town cowboy romances. I really love the Chestnut Springs series by Elsie Silver, so I decided to give this series a try as well. I hate to compare, but that's just like the only other like small town cowboy romances that I have read was the Chestnut Springs series from Elsie Silver, so these are just like on that same wavelength, you know what I mean? And there's just nothing like a cowboy romance, so I did buy these. And speaking of our Queen Elsie Silver that we know and love, I did pick up Wild Love. This is the first book in a new series that she has been writing, the Rose Hill series, and I just love anything Elsie Silver writes, so I will be buying all of her books because they're just amazing. She is an auto-buy author for me, so of course I had to get this, and it is a single dad small town romance slash he is her boss slash just perfect. And this whole series, I just learned, is all going to be single dads, so if that is your thing, you're going to love it. And then I have recently purchased Archer's Voice. This one I am just really behind on because everyone read this a while ago and absolutely loved it. I have also read this one and it is worth the hype. I absolutely loved it. So I do recommend it. Give it a shot if you haven't read it yet. It is just so good. And then speaking of books that have been popular, I decided to give this series a try. We have Things I Wanted to Say by Monica Murphy and then A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime. I feel like this book was a lot more popular a while ago, and so I wanted to start the series from the beginning. Read this one. You guys will see my thoughts on that later on in another video. I know, I'm sorry. These are like private school rich preppy kids and they're romances. So yeah, I read those. And then I also have purchased the 3 first books in the Wendy series. So we have Mile High by Liz Tomford, we have The Right Move, and then we have Caught Up. These are all sports romances, but they're based in Chicago and somehow they are like interconnected, although they are different sports. So the first book is a hockey romance and she is a flight attendant for his plane. The next one is our main character from the first book's brother, who is an NBA player, and her best friend. And then we have Caught Up, which is MLB. I honestly forgot how these two are connected to these characters, but still, sports, and I like that they're all 3 different sports because it kind of keeps things a little bit more interesting. And then the last 4 books that I have to show you guys, I actually did get sent, so thank you again to the publishers and the authors for sending these to me. These are all authors that honestly I haven't even heard of before, but I am excited to get into them because they seem quite interesting. The first is by Kate Claiborne, and this is The Other Side of Disappearing. I believe it's a romance, but it also has a little bit of a mystery. It's like 2 sisters, their mother disappeared a while ago, and they're trying to find her, I believe. So it seems pretty interesting and I do want to give this one a shot eventually. And then we have The Late Bloomer by Maisie Eddings. And it's actually really crazy because the day this book was sent to me, I went to Barnes & Noble and I saw it on the table and I almost purchased this. So I'm so happy that it got sent to me and this cover is just beautiful. And then I also got another, I believe it is also a sapphic romance. It is called At Her Service by Amy Spalding. I have absolutely no idea what this one is about, but still, it looks like a really cute romance. So I am excited to get into this one as well. And then the last book I have to show you is called Not Your Crush's Cauldron by April Asher, which I believe is like a witchy romance. And honestly, I'm excited for this, but it will probably be a while before I get into this because it's a witch romance. I have to save this for October or when we get close enough to where I'm excited about Halloween, which might be like August or September. So yeah, we have this one. And those are all the books that I've bought recently. It is a lot. A good chunk of these I have already read, so you will be seeing them in videos, like I said, in the next couple of weeks. So just give me some time, but thank you guys so much for being so understanding and patient with me as I try to work through life and also creating book content. So let me know if you've read any of these, what your thoughts were, what books you're most excited to see in other videos, what you want me to read as soon as possible. And yeah, that is that. So I will see you guys next time. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Bye!